Hello everybody, I hope you're having an amazing day today, and today I would like to share with you guys my final thoughts on the Knife Co. Mini Malice button lock. I did purchase this off the secondary market on nafsale.com. It was a super smooth transaction. The individual had great communication, great personality, and I'm a very happy customer, I will say. This knife is something that I really wanted to get when it first came out in the middle of last year, I think. But I had a bunch of other stuff going on and other knives that piqued my interest more than this did. And I figured, you know what? The full-size Malice was such a popular knife. Unfortunately, we had to discontinue it. But I had a feeling that this was going to become popular and stick around for a while, because it was really at the start of all the crazy button locks that were coming out. And this was, I believe, Wii's first premium button lock knife. They did a couple things with Civivi, and then this came out a little bit later on in the year. But yeah, with all that out of the way. So I did get it from nafsale.com. I'll be linking their website down in the description. But I will be pulling off some specs and some information off of Blade HQ, which seems to have all 6 variety in stock. Actually, their newest one, it's Bead Blast with Tiger Stripe heat anodization. That one looks pretty darn cool. But of course, with the extra work, it does cost a little bit more. So these guys range from, and I'm not gonna even bother with the crazy Damascus version. That's just irrelevant. Unless you guys are really interested in that. That one is $609. Yeah, no. I'm sorry, that's not $609 worth of knife. That's barely $300 worth of knife, in my opinion. But for the normal ones, to get one brand new, $254, and then with the Tiger Stripe Heat Ano, it is $262.50. So I'm gonna be pulling a couple little dimension specs off of Blade HQ. Overall length is 6.93, blade length is 2.98, and the cutting edge, does it actually say cutting edge? No, it doesn't. All right, well, if the blade length is that, I'm pretty sure the cutting edge is a little bit less, but you do have this nice little full finger choil there, so this definitely will be a good knife to have in counties or cities, states that have blade length restrictions. So this guy is good to go. This was definitely a medium knife, but it does feel full size because of that finger choil there. I do wear large to extra large size gloves, but I do have slim fingers, so at least for me, I can get a pretty good purchase on this guy. I have a little scale over here for the weight. And this guy is, I mean, it's the little tank, but it is full tie, no liners or anything. 3.4, honestly, not that bad at all. It's actually pretty darn nice. So with that kind of stuff out of the way, let's break out a couple size comparisons here. This is my Spyderco PM2. It just absolutely dwarfs it. Native 5, which is a whole lot closer, quite similar, but I think the Native 5 is a little bit longer overall. In handle length, at least, cutting edge, the Native 5 has less than the Mini Malice. Got a couple more here. Benchmade Bug Out. Bug Out is a little bit longer overall. A Civivi Elementum. It's about the same length. And almost about the same amount of cutting edge there. That's nice. Benchmade Osborne 940, of course, significantly longer. And last, Demco 8020.5. So hopefully that helps you guys out to get a visual of what this guy is all about. All right, that's really about it for size and dimensions. Now let me get to raving and ranting about this thing. As I mentioned before, this was everything I hoped it to be, really. I think that the spring, how everything is, put together, it is perfect. The tension is actually very strong, and I can actually put a good bit of force behind every engagement, whether that's the flipper that has perfect jimping. It's on the top, on the back, nothing underneath, of course, but it has wonderful, meaningfully sharp jimping. You do have, these holes here in the blade, mainly for aesthetic, but it is sharp enough that you could actually reverse flick off of it quite confidently. At least I can. And then you can thumb flick too a little bit. That one's a little trickier. Sometimes I slip off, or I just can't get it completely. You do have to get a little further down. But yeah, definitely reverse flicking and the flipper is the best, in my opinion, for deployment on this knife. T8 hardware all the way around, which is sweet. This does have a nice milled titanium pocket clip, and I don't know if it's a thing, but okay, so this is a OEM design. This is a Ferrum Forge design. You can see their maker's mark there, but I've noticed that a lot of the things that we makes from other designers, they actually have nice titanium pocket clips. If not, they just throw something quite basic and simple. But this actually has a perfect pocket clip. It is very short, very well rounded. It matches. It doesn't stand out of place. It isn't super deep carry. A little bit sticks out of your pocket. Nothing crazy, just enough to get a decent purchase to pull it out of your pocket. The retention on the clip, it is exactly what you would think for a, it's a rather thin titanium pocket clip. I haven't needed to fiddle with it or bend it out or anything. It's just perfect in and out every single time. One thing that I noticed about this is that it had the most beautiful ting I have ever heard from a knife when deploying. So it was either the flip or the reverse flick, and it was loud. Now I'm not too sure what's changed since then, but it's almost completely gone away. It is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. It still rings a couple times here and there, and it's nice. But I think it may have something to do with these super large pockets milled out into the actual titanium. I mentioned before, no liners at all. So I think that's where they definitely saved on some weight. These scales are very hand-feeling, and just the design overall, it feels chunky in hand, but because everything is just so well rounded off, it's extremely comfortable. No jimping on the back, doesn't really need it. If it was added, I think it would be a nice little bonus. The bead blasting finish on the blade hasn't seen too much wear yet, but it probably will eventually. I personally haven't noticed any gunk being trapped up here. From what I remember, like last summer, I think Wayne Sharpworld, he reviewed this, and like one of his only gripes was the great design here with the little slits there. He was saying that like some pocket lint and debris can get trapped there, and maybe aesthetically not pleasing. But me personally, this has been in the pocket a lot, despite it being basically a full bellied knife, just a continuous curve to this edge. Because of its size and it is a drop point, I am actually able to manipulate it quite easily at work. So this has been a perfect work knife for me, and it's very easy to just whip out really quick if I just hold down on the button. And for me, at least, it was easy to get into the groove of letting go, whether it's I'm intending to open it or to close it. So there's not much more I have to say about this thing. I don't really have any negatives. If I really want to nitpick, geez, I don't know. I don't know what I could actually nitpick. Nothing really. Maybe a backspacer. I think that would have been cool, but it does have these standoffs. Also titanium, as is all the hardware and everything. I think a backspacer would have been cool, but Wii doesn't really do backspacers. That's just an absolute BS nitpick, if anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say that this is a perfect knife for me. For what I need for work, it's perfect size. The blade stock thickness, it's nothing super chunky. It's not extremely thin and slicey. It's perfect. It's what I need it to be. It comes to a very fine tip there, and I definitely use it a lot. And because it is such a stout design, I am able to manipulate it quite comfortably and easily, and it's just been wonderful to play with. Taking this thing apart was extremely simple as well. Everything is well machined, well rounded off on the inside just as it is on the outside, and the anodization and the stone wash on the actual scales is quite beautiful in my opinion. I am planning to do some anodization work to this, but just at a later date. I need more practice. It's a fun process, but it can be quite frustrating. So like today, I anodized my what's it called, my Wii Esprit, and I basically redid the surface finish like 5 different times, anodized it 4 different colors. Had to keep submerging the blade to get a darker and darker finish into the ferrochloric acid. So and then at the end of it all, the stone washing technique that I used just didn't have the yield that I thought it was going to, but it was a learning experience. So I love that knife enough to to use it as a sacrificial piece to do all this kind of work and testing on. Practice makes perfect. I don't have a lot of like budget titanium knives, so I don't plan to really sell that one unless I absolutely need to for whatever reason. But with this thing, this is gonna be a keeper. It's a wonderful design. It's a wonderful knife in actual use. It's everything I needed it to be. It's everything I hoped it to be. And even though I paid significantly less for this because I did purchase this used, but it came to me practically brand new. I wouldn't mind paying full price for this thing. I think that that price is just about right. So I think this is a good bit of knife for that price, and having the Wii name to to back it, I'd pay for that. I would. So this is going to be a highly recommendable knife for me. If you guys did enjoy this video, go ahead, give it a like. If you guys aren't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I have plenty more content coming your way. And with that being said, have a wonderful day.